So, I'm officially starting my sophomore year at comedy, and all my friends have pointed out that so far, my biggest issue is always keeping my idle hand on my hip, as if I were a little teapot. And granted I am both short and stout, I would enjoy the comparisons to begin and end right there. So I'm at a loss as to what to do with my idle hand. My best idea so far is just kind of stand here and do this as if I'm jacking off my imaginary friend, because I just decided they're going to be my imaginary friend with benefits. I got talked into going to a strip club for the first time the other night, and the main reason I never went before is because I had two preconceived ideas of what a stripper was like. The first was a down-on-her-luck, desperate woman who, to make ends meet, had to take off her clothes to Warren's cherry pie for the pleasure of disgusting men, and that made me feel sad. And the other vision was a smart and savvy woman who used the male gender's obsession with tits as a way to siphon money away from disgusting men, and that makes me feel had. So when I got to the Gold Club in Bedford, I was wondering if I'd be seeing the former, the latter, finite combination of the both, and it was entirely the former. The evening started with the announcer having all the ladies on stage, introducing them as the A-Team, which I immediately recognized as bullshit because Mr. T wasn't up there. Even if he were, still a wildly inaccurate name for this collection of ladies. A fitting moniker would have been the C-Section Scar Squad. And I'm pretty sure the first dancer was a new recruit because she was a pregnant white chick. And I thought being pregnant would really hinder her stripping ability, but she was twerking it on stage. And all I could think is, why would you do that with something growing inside of you? When you're making a cake, there comes a point where you stop mixing the ingredients and just let them become cake. And I'm not a doctor or even a baker. I'm pretty sure that general principle applies to babies and cake. Well, what do I know? Maybe she wants to give birth to something with shaken baby syndrome. Maybe she's trying to liquefy the fetus, so all the abortion doctor needs to do is push down on her stomach to make it come out like soft serve. And if it turned out that Dad was black, it would have been a twist. Eventually got enough liquor in me that night, I started to have fun. My friend decided to take advantage of this and toss $10 in ones in my lap and call over a stripper because my friend is a fucking asshole and knows that I am incompetent at interacting with women when they are fully clothed. So this was his experiment to see how I'd handle one who was half naked, shaking their vagina at me. She didn't make it any easier for me either, because she came up to me on her knees, pressing her tits together to get the ones in there, which was a problem because she had an A cup and I didn't have a glue stick to just up there. So I didn't know what to do. Maybe I could get a stack of quarters, try plinking them down her elbow, around the titty, and down into the G-string. And why wasn't she using the G-string? She could have just shook her ass in my face, could have put the dollar bills right there, and I wouldn't have had to stare right into her dead, defeated eyes, which is the most uncomfortable part of the evening. Needless to say, I haven't really been back to the building since. I had to go for work once, and I'm pretty sure the pizza I delivered wasn't the cheesiest thing in the building that night. And it was one of the dancers who ordered, and it was a $19 order, and she gave me a $20, which is bullshit, because I know she has singles on her. I'm going to be honest, I'm happy I'm getting a good reaction so far, because I've never performed in front of a crowd this big before, so I was a bit nervous, but I know I could handle it, because I have come face to face with my biggest fear and survived almost shitting my pants in public. I was walking home from the bar one night, thought I was letting a little methane out. Turned out it was going to be a lot more. So I went into emergency lockdown at this moment. I thought I could get to my car, but I realized this was flight or fight. Fecal floodgates are open. The only thing standing between me and a disastrous diarrhea dilemma is a tight clench. And if my legs move more than 3 inches apart, it is poop time and pants down. So I decided my only course of action was to walk back to the bar. And walk's not really the right term for it. It was more of a shit pants shuffle of shame. So I started shuffling on over back to the bar, and everything was going relatively smoothly until I got to the crosswalk. Looked to the left, saw nothing coming, so I started the shuffle. Looked to my right and saw a car speeding at me. And he wasn't slowing down because how is he supposed to know what's going on in my pants right now? And at that moment, it dawned on me that this is the night I get hit by a car. And at that moment, I was at peace with that, because it would give me a valid excuse for shitting my pants. And I wouldn't be the only one making skid marks on the street that night. I'm James Mullan. Enjoy the rest of the show.